thank you very much for taking the time out to talk to me
Yeah,
today.
thank you for having me.
No, do you know, I look at your when I come across your posts, and I'm just your dedication to fitness and your dedication to challenging the stigma. I want to ask you a little bit about that actually, but like I came
Absolutely.
across it and you remind me a little bit of my son who he doesn't wait around, he doesn't sit feeling sorry for himself. He does weights, he does calisthenics, he is the fittest one in the household. He eats well, he takes care of himself, and it's not the image that they put in the media.
Yeah,
And that's what made me reach out. But what I wanted to ask is that what made you want to show that side of yourself on social media? Because it's a big thing to do.
it was honestly like you were saying, it was the amount of stigma that sits around cancer. The second I got diagnosed, I heard everybody saying they hear stage 4 and they're like, oh, you're gonna die, like you're gonna be weak, you're gonna be frail, the whole 9 yards. So once I started getting comments like that, I was like, look, I've been in the gym for a couple of years, I know what I'm doing. I'm gonna show people like just because I have a stage 4 diagnosis, it means essentially nothing to me. I'm going to keep pushing through. I'm going to keep living my life, and I'm going to respectfully do my best to do better than everyone around me. Like,
Yeah.
if I can, I will for sure.
It's like I remember so my son's tumor was at the top of his it was through his hip socket in his left leg.
Oof.
So the whole leg had to go. And people see it's like the cancer diagnosis. They see the diagnosis first and almost the human afterwards. And I
Hmm.
remember saying to him, you know, you're not up against the two-legged version in your head, you know, like the cancerless one that's healthy and has two legs. You're just as good as that version. And he went, no, I'm not. I'm better. I live better. My perception is completely different. I don't waste time. I don't waste energy. And I am the best version of myself that I could possibly be. I don't, the cancer I don't even think about. I focus on who I am. And
Yeah.
that kind of comes through in your posts. Um, so I know that you're currently doing, I'm very impressed. I've just put a comment on actually, your push-ups, a push-up a day. It's
Yeah.
just even if I consider doing a push-up, my triceps start screaming in protest. They're just like, no.
No,
But
it's funny. It was kind of a last minute decision. I'm like, what can I do here that can just even further push this agenda? Because I actually, funny enough, I had applied for a Guinness World Record and I was going to go for it on the 19th of December, but they never got back to me, so I couldn't. But it would have
well,
been
now they
heaviest
should.
leg press by a cancer patient.
Well, that would be amazing in
It
challenging
would
that
be.
stigma to get in the Guinness Book of Records. So yeah, no, if Guinness Book of Records ever watches this, they need to call you, in my opinion. They
No, I
need to
have
get you
to.
in there. Get you in there. That's a statement. But what made you take fitness up as the answer to challenge that stigma? Was it the stage 4 or was it the social reaction to the stage 4?
Well, I had been going to the gym for a few years prior, so I was kind of always in that area, so to speak. And originally, what made me get into it was stigma of a different kind. I was a sophomore in high school. I was, 95 pounds. I was incredibly skinny and getting made fun of. So, getting into the gym, putting on weight, I noticed how differently people started to treat me. And then, similarly, once I got cancer, I had lost about 45 pounds, and people kind of reverted back to being like, oh, he's tiny, he's all this. So, once I started chemo, I'm like, all right, we're going to bulk up. We're going to put some weight on. We're going to get in the gym. I actually put on 45 pounds in the last 4 months, and I just wanted to show everyone, I'm like, look, cancer may be the end all be all for some people, but for me, it's not even close. This is just the start of something different.
Mm. I do find
And
it changes your perspective, like you
oh yeah.
don't waste. I think that's almost where it comes from. Why does society don't have to face the fact that the human condition is temporary,
Hmm.
and then when you hear something like cancer, you realize you don't have an indefinite amount of time. That's what it's taught me. We don't
Hmm.
waste a single second.
That's kind of what I meant by that post I had made where I said, just if you have something you want to do, just do it, get out there, live your
Yeah,
life. Because before I got diagnosed, I treated it like I had all the time in the world. And it was always, I'll do it tomorrow, I'll do it next week or whatever. And now
yeah,
it's like, I need to do this now because I
yeah,
might not be able to next week.
yeah. So what is it if you could, if they said, right, okay, if you can change that stigma, what would you what would you hope to achieve through that? What is the end result? If I could give it to you now, what would that be?
I would just like people with cancer to be looked at the same as everyone else is looked at. I can't tell you how many times I've been out in public and I've had a little kid look at me and be like, "Mommy's bald." And it's like, all
Yeah,
right.
yeah, that's it. It's like we get people looking for the left leg, and I'm like, you can look all day, it's not there. You can look all day, it's not going to grow back. And it just like I'm not allowed to say anything now because it is just you're drawing attention to it.
Hmm.
Be quiet. But yeah, no, that amen to that. Yeah, just it's a diagnosis.
Hmm.
It's not a personality. It's not,
I mean, yeah, they treat it like I
it
would
defines
rather
you.
be treated like I've got the flu than anything because truly 9 times out of 10, I'm doing pretty good. It's just right
Yeah,
after chemo, I have a little bit of a rough time, but I mean, I'm sick, what, 4 days a month? The other
yeah,
27 or whatever, I'm pretty normal.
yeah,
So
yeah,
just treat me like a normal person.
exactly. And I think that's where that disparity is. They don't quite know how, which is where what I'm trying to do is coming from. Um, and lots of people have got lots of different experiences, but do you find that focusing on fitness? I mean, I'm a runner, so like
Mm.
I run and I do weights and I do calisthenics and I do all that, and I find it really helps my mental health. But I'm not the one that's having to go through all this treatment. Do you find that
Mhm.
it helps your mental and emotional health as well?
Oh, 100%. I mean, if I wasn't going into the gym, frankly, based on what the doctors have told me, if I hadn't gone to the gym and eaten the way I had, I wouldn't be alive right now because
Wow.
all the weight I put on and all of the muscle I put on has kept me alive. I mean, I got all the way down to like 120 pounds there for a minute, and if I had stayed there, they truly are not sure I would have lived. So it has helped me mentally in the sense of, well, I'm alive, first off, but also like I'm doing well for myself and I'm continuing to push the boundaries of what's possible for not even just as a cancer patient, but as a person entirely. I want people to look at me and think, not, oh, he's doing well for a guy with cancer. I want them to think, wow, he's doing well just as a person.
Yeah. Yeah. It shouldn't the cancer should almost not even be secondary in terms of, you are from your posts leading from the front, you're almost like if other people see it and they go, well, I could do that. Maybe I could give it a try. And
Hmm.
um and then people that don't live in that world can give it a try. It's almost it puts cancer on a shelf.
Hmm.
And
Yeah.
that's amazing. I know, like, I try not to use the words amazing, inspirational, strong, because if it's going to make him roll his eyes, it's probably going to make everybody else roll their eyes. But it is a choice. I always used to say you don't get a choice, but you
Mm.
do. You get a
Yeah,
choice
you
to
truly
either
do.
sit and, you know, let those thoughts come for you and try and sit with them, or you choose to deal with it a different way. So it is a choice. And I think, you know, you do need to, the only person that made that choice was you.
Yeah, I mean,
You,
the
you made
options I
that
was
choice to break the
presented with were,
stigma.
oh
And
yeah.
I think I don't want to use the word inspirational, but leadership, I think, I think that's a
Yeah,
better way of saying it. Um,
absolutely.
but was there a long period of time between when you started noticing that something wasn't right, the first symptoms and diagnosis? Because I've had varying answers depending on the cancer and the journey. So did you have a long period of time or was it
I
not?
would say so. For me, it was about August of 2024, the first time I ever noticed anything was wrong. I had veins all through the side just constantly bulging. And I'm like, it's a little weird, but I can kind of ignore that. And then I was supposed to go in for it would have been a CT in October. So they do the CT in October of 2024, and I had an allergic reaction to the dye, ended up having a seizure. So we got no results from that.
Mm,
And financially, I was like, we can't afford to do this again. I'm just gonna kind of put it to the side, gonna ignore it. And then, I was doing really well in the gym. Everything was going great. And then like March 2025 hit and I just started losing weight rapidly. Like week after week, I was going down pounds and pounds and pounds. And then what really kind of sealed the deal for me was in about June of 2025. I noticed I couldn't lay on my back anymore because I was unable to breathe. Every time I did, I would start choking on like some fluid of some kind.
right.
And yeah, I was just going to keep going with that. And eventually I scheduled a doctor's appointment. And 2 days before my doctor's appointment in, I want to say August 2025, I had probably a baseball sized lump in my neck right here. And it turns out it was one of my lymph nodes had swollen up.
Wow.
And the reason I couldn't lay on my back was because the main tumor I have was from about top of my chest here all the way to the bottom. It was compressing my left lung and it was wrapped around my heart, leaking fluid into both. And if I hadn't caught it when I had, I'm not sure if I would have made it, but we caught it, a little late, but it's okay. It was stage 4, and all they could really do was just dump me with chemo and hope it works. And so far, it seems like it's doing pretty well. I'm 2 rounds away from finishing up now. I'll finish in January and then no radiation after because they said if they give me radiation because of where the cancer is, they'll almost definitely give me a heart disease, which has a higher chance of killing me than the cancer.
Mm,
So the hope is after these next 2 rounds, that's just it, and no surgeries other than to get my port out, and then I just get to move on with my life.
mm. Well, do you know what? I'm glad you brought it up. I think that's one of the things that people don't talk about is the impact the treatment has on your heart.
Hmm.
So we've got a scan tomorrow, and then every so often we'll have a scan just to see what the
Yeah,
impact on his heart is. Because, and it all comes at a physical cost. But it's also, you mentioned financial, so do you feel like the financial side of things and the cost of treatment also plays a factor?
I mean, absolutely. I would say mentally and even like day-to-day life, a lot of things have changed. I will lead by saying I'm incredibly blessed and incredibly lucky to have a supportive family and friends around me and people that can actually make this happen because I know some people they'll get diagnosed and they don't have the support system and they just fall through. But I've been lucky enough to have good people around me. But still, I mean, chemo itself, um, just a ballpark, we're roughly 500,000 in and we're not even done yet. And that's not even touching any of the surgeries or anything like that. That's just chemo itself. So
Wow.
we've been very lucky though to get some financial help from the hospital and they've been covering a lot of that. And I've actually had a lot of people ask me if I'm going to start a GoFundMe, but for me personally, I would almost feel bad because I'm like, I know I can do this if I just work enough and we just make it happen. I would feel almost guilty putting that out there and being like, here you guys go.
I know what you're saying. I know what you're saying. And you find that I find it when so I wrote a book. I started writing the book this time last year from a
Mhm.
parent's perspective to help other parents help their children navigate the journey, so they kind of get an insight as to what potentially could come up. And the you do kind of feel unprepared, and you don't see the potential impact it can have financially. I'm
Mm.
finding the more I speak to people is where you live, it's like a postcode lottery.
Oh yeah.
And the other thing I found is that when I went on to, because if you need to tell the world that you've written a book, so
Mm.
that's where my social medias come from, because I need to start telling people that this book exists in case they need it. And you get two narratives. The ones that people don't want to tell, but we have to, that you have to, like, so when you have to rely on funds to fund your medical bills, the only way, not the only way, but the most successful way is pity. And that's why you can go through my social media page and you'll find I can count on one hand how many times my so Jacob is actually on my social media because he doesn't want to be portrayed in the same way you do. I totally get it. It's like it's going against my values a little bit because I'm here, I'm taking care of myself, and then all of a sudden people are saying, well, why don't you do a GoFundMe so you can almost hold your hand up,
Yeah.
And I totally get that.
Kind of feels
But
like just sitting on the side of the road with a cup and you're shaking it for
yeah, like
change.
Oliver Twist, it's like, please, sir,
Yeah.
like, no. And I think, it's that moral, you have to kind of sit with it. And it shouldn't be where you live dictates whether you live, and you shouldn't go bankrupt. You shouldn't have to go bankrupt to try and survive. But that is a
Yeah.
narrative that is coming out quite a lot as I'm
Yeah.
talking to
And
people.
I don't know if that's more so an American healthcare thing or just worldwide, but I know America's real bad with it right now.
Mm. And it's so that's almost by trying to share these stories, and I'm trying to do what you're doing essentially, and trying to tell the real sort of story. It's like,
Yeah.
this is your story, and this is Jacob's story, and this is the story of everybody that I've spoken to. It's a reality for millions of families across the world, and yet no one talks about it.
Yeah.
It's
Absolutely.
like Voldemort out of Harry Potter. You can say cancer, you
Hmm.
won't catch it. It doesn't work
Yeah.
like that. You can say it out loud in a public space. And the more you do that, I think because people don't talk about it, they don't see it as important. We do,
Mm.
because you have to
Yeah,
face,
you have to. And
yeah,
I think a lot of people just they go about it the wrong way. And like I was saying earlier, they hear the word and they immediately associate it with death. And it's like it's
yeah,
so far from that every single time.
yeah,
I mean, for example, lymphoma, which is what I have at
mm,
stage 4, I
mm,
believe it's got an 80% survival rate.
yeah,
So the absolute worst case scenario with lymphoma is still 80% of people are living, and they treat it like every single person is just
like a
screwed
like a
from
death
the beginning.
sentence. Yeah,
Essentially, yeah.
yeah,
But interestingly, kind of unrelated, but the doctors told me my cancer was like a sporadic genetic mutation, meaning I got it, but there is a guarantee my sister won't because I got it, which is
right,
amazing. And truly, if I had to get cancer again for no one in my family to get it, I would do it every single time. And I
yeah,
think every other person with cancer would say the same if they're in my shoes.
yeah. And every person. So what I've done, I collected some photographs and I made it into a picture on my website. I've made it into a collage, and I've made the point of saying that behind every image is a family praying for a miracle, because that's
Hmm.
what we have to do. We have to, and behind every image is a parent wishing it was them. I would swap with him in a heartbeat. I would swap
Yeah.
with him in a heartbeat, and he would argue with me over it. And he would say, no, I got it. He said something similar to you the other night, where he said, if I had to be completely healthy but an amputee, or an amputee with cancer, I'd choose cancer every day.
Hmm.
Is it? I'd take it. I know it sounds crazy, but I'd take it because at least there is a reason for why the leg's not there. But it's
No,
just, it
truly,
is,
yeah.
yeah, it's really rare to have a genetic mutation. Usually it's just, we were just told it was bad luck. And that
Yeah.
is the way it is. It's really, but yeah, no, that's interesting. And that's,
I've heard hereditary quite a bit too.
wow.
So I'm not sure though. But at the end of
Yeah.
the day, I am as crazy as it may sound, I am glad it happened. Like I am a completely different person now than I was before I got cancer. And, obviously I don't want cancer, but I'm grateful for the experiences and the lessons that it's given me because I have turned into a better person for it. And I've been able to build this platform and kind of share my story and show people, hey, it doesn't have to be this way. And people are really receptive to it. I mean, in the last 3 months, I've gained 12,000 followers.
Yeah. And that's the thing. So there was a study done um, by a charity for the motivation behind why people donate. So people donate as a way of caring from a distance, but they wanted to see which narrative produced the most amount of money towards cancer research. Um, when they changed it from pity to empowering, the amount of donations dropped. But
Hmm.
I think if they changed that narrative now, I don't think they'd see the same thing. I genuinely think that it's not a case of just waiting around and hoping that medicine works. I'm completely with you. It does
Yeah,
change your perspective, but it doesn't change. You don't go around hating life. You don't
mhm,
blame anybody. You make the most of the minutes that you've got.
completely. Yeah, I almost blame myself for it, if anything. Like, it's not like there's anything specific that I did that could have caused this, but
Yeah.
it's a weird sense of guilt almost of like, well, what did I do? Like, why? Not like a why me, but more like, did I do something at some point in my life to put this into my body? Like, what's
Mm.
it doing here, basically?
Yeah, yeah. And I think that's the brain doesn't like open loops. It likes to close things off. It likes closure. And there's
Hmm.
just no closure from it, I don't
No,
think.
not at all. Especially in
No.
my situation where they told me, I mean, literally, they told me, like, it just happened. We don't know why. Something
Yeah.
mutated, and now you have it.
Yeah, that's it. We're like, we can't tell you. There's no reasoning behind it. It is just how the cells split and it mutated and here we are. And it's like,
Hmm.
oh, okay then. But I'm glad you said that you've got a fantastic support network around you, um, because that can make all the difference. I know I've seen a post that you've done recently where you've got someone doing push-ups next to you.
Yeah, my cousin.
Yeah, no, I was going to offer and say, do you know what? I'll do it with you. I'll do it. We'll both do push-ups. My arms are going to be screaming, but I'll do it. And then I was like, oh, you've got people, you've got people doing it. I'm more than happy to
Yeah,
join in. I'm more than happy to join in.
absolutely.
My triceps aren't that keen, but I am. I am game. I'll do it. But has there been any? I know you've said there's been financial support. Has there been any kind of emotional or psychological support, or is that purely your fitness because there isn't any support?
You know, funny enough, I love my family, I really do. But I try my absolute best to not show them the hard parts of anything because I know how it
Mhm.
affects them. And even
Mhm.
in the hospital when I'm going through chemo, I have had times where I am literally actively throwing up and like in tears, and I will look at my mom and I'll give her a thumbs up as I'm puking just to let her know, like, Mom, I'm good. I'm okay. I'm pushing through it. So I think a lot of my mental resilience towards it comes through necessity more than
Mm,
actually feeling great about it. It comes through, I don't want to show my little sister, I don't want to show my mom, my dad, that
mm,
any of this is getting to me because I know they worry enough already and I don't want to make them worry anymore. So I don't really open up to them about it, but despite that, I am doing pretty good. And I've found that going to the gym obviously helps quite a bit,
Mm.
and posting these videos helps quite a bit. But there's definitely a dark side to it a lot of people don't see. I mean, even yesterday, I was recording my push-up videos, and there's part of it I was debating posting just to give people more of an insight because my mom was recording it. And before the video, I kind of sat down and just put my head in my hands, and I'm like, I don't want to do this. I'm so sick. I'm so tired. I'm actually sick right now, but I'm like,
Oh no.
I just don't want to do this, but I have to. I have to show people like you can do this. You can get through anything. So I'm not going to falter no matter how horrible I'm feeling. I mean, even days when I have chemo, I'm still getting down there cranking out push-ups just to prove a point. So at the end of the day, I'm okay and I'm going to be okay, but it's purely out of my own doing, if anything.
Yeah. Yeah. And do you know what? All of that resonates more than you know. So he doesn't share, he doesn't offload. I
Hmm.
like I always joke about the fact that, like if he offloads to me, he thinks I'm going to turn into a blubbering mess that strokes his face like it's his final hours. And that's not that's not how it's going to go. But he doesn't offload either. But I do think that, the world is moving towards a place where honesty outweighs performance, but it
Hmm.
does take a heck of amount of courage to actually show that dark side.
Hmm.
Um, but until I think the world knows how to receive it, I think that's almost where how is that going to be received? But no, yeah, absolutely. There is a dark side. I think it comes in the quiet moments.
Yeah,
That's why I run, because for that time where I'm running, it shuts up because I'm busy.
that's what the
But
gym is for me. It's about
yeah,
2 hours where my brain just turns
oh,
off and I can just focus on, all right, let's get in here, let's get the work done
yeah.
and have
And
some
the
fun
only
with it.
fight is when your brain is going, oh no, it's pain. And you're like, it's not pain, it's effort. And
Hmm.
like, we can do it. So that's the only thought that you have to battle when you're doing something. So that's why I picked it up. I totally get it. Um, but we've discussed it a little bit, but if you could give anybody that is on a cancer journey a piece of advice, what would it be if you could get one message out there other than the one that you're already spreading?
Hmm.
What do you want people?
I should clarify this isn't an all-encompassing message. Of course, some
No,
people do
no,
get hit with terminal diagnoses, and that's a different story. But for the most part, it does get better in pretty much every sense you can think of. You get more used to the chemo, so you learn how to bounce back from it
yeah,
faster. You learn how to handle it better. Your family starts to get more used to it. Your friends get used to it. And you just got to make sure you're surrounding yourself with the right people because that will make or break this cancer journey. And if you have the wrong people around you, it could
yeah,
make everything so much more difficult. So
yeah,
truly, if I had to say one thing, make sure you've got the right people around you.
yeah. That's it. Absolutely. I mean, I think he's that Jacob's incurable. He won't ever, get any better. And whilst we don't know what's ahead, I completely resonate with what you've just said. It does, it won't always be like this where we don't have scanxiety and we can just kind of trundle along and make fun of each other. And I made a one-legged joke today. I walked
Exactly.
past,
Yep.
yeah, no. So I walked past, I walked past the Pixar, like a Lego Pixar lamp, and he's got one leg. So I always joke about Halloween, he should dress up as the Pixar lamp. And I was like, oh, look
Yep.
at you. Stand next to it. I want a photograph. And he just gives me that side eye. And it's just, yeah, we know the storm is coming, but we're not
Hmm.
spending the rest of our time together staring at it. And I think it will get hard, but if you've got the right team behind you,
Yep.
it makes things so much more manageable.
Makes all the difference.
Yeah, yeah. It either makes or breaks a journey. I completely agree. Um, well, keep doing what you're doing. You want me to do the push-ups with you? I'll do it. I'll do
You
it.
know what? We can do it right now if you want to.
Oh my God.
Let's do it. I'm putting you on the spot.
You won't see me like I'll disappear, but I promise I'm doing it.
All
Hang
right,
on.
let's do it.
Yeah,
Let
let's
me
do
get my
it.
chair in here.
Right. Okay. Hang on.
All right,
Right, okay, the 29th.
what's the
Right.
date today? Is it the 29th?
The 29th. Right, how many are we doing?
29th. 29.
Oh my
Here,
God.
we can break it
Okay.
up in two. We'll do one set of 14 and one set of 15. How's that sound?
Right, I'm gonna do my knees. Right, hang on a minute. Let me move
That
my
works.
chair.
Yep.
Oh my God. Let's do it. I'm
All right,
ready.
here we go.
Yeah.
We're gonna start with 14. You ready?
Okay.
All right, go.
Oh. My triceps are screaming.
You got it.
Such a wuss.
All right, that's my 14.
Okay.
You got it. You can do
Yeah. I lost count, but I'm assuming I've got to 14.
it. You're probably there by now.
I'm probably there by now. Yeah. Okay.
All right, give yourself a second. Stretch out. Make sure you're not cramping.
Oh God, my triceps hate me. It's okay.
All right,
I
you ready
missed my
for the
strength this
15?
morning, but it's okay. Right. I'm
All
ready
right.
when you are.
All right, here we go.
Okay. Right.
Oh, we got it.
I'll be right with you.
Yep.
Right. One more.
One more, you can do it.
Oh. Okay.
All right.
Yeah. Okay, there we go. Right, so I did miss my strength training this morning because my weights are up in Jacob's room and I am not waking up a sleeping 15-year-old. I don't know.
Completely understandable.
So no, that's it. Hey, okay, so what's tomorrow? 30.
Tomorrow's 30.
Okay, right, I'll do it.
All right.
Mm. And relax.
There you go.
Well, thank you very much for coming on and for sharing your perspective. It is, yeah, leading from the front. Leading from the
Yeah,
front. Yeah.
absolutely. And thank you for having me.
No, it's my pleasure. And I will do tomorrow's 30. I don't know who's going to
All
film it.
right.
Do you know what? He's got a scan tomorrow. I might get him filming me doing it in the hospital, just like, yeah.
Yeah,
I'm not sure if I'm that brave, but
you
um,
got it.
but yeah, you keep leading from the front. And it has been an absolute pleasure having you on, Trevor. Thank you so much for coming on.
Once again, thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
It's been my honor.